by Professor Pooja Jain. So she will be continuing the discussion on hands-on session for the Python as well as on the other machine learning applications. So now I will hand over this to Professor Pooja Jain.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you again. A very good afternoon to all the participants present. Thank you for your patient listening for past 2 days, and today is the last session. Before I start, I wanted to share a file with all the participants. So I'm just sending it across to Shabir, sir. Should I send to Shabir, sir, or to you?
You can send to Sabir actually.
Okay.
Or do you want the participants list or what?
Pardon? No, I don't want. No. You can send it across. I just wanted to send the CSV file that would be using for today's hands-on. I have sent that. Today, actually, we would be doing COVID analysis. There is a data set for Corona. So we'll be doing the analysis on that, and then later on, we'll switch on to NLP. COVID analysis would be short because we have already done such type of analysis in pandas. Shabir, I think one must have received the file.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please forward it to the participants. Okay. So till then you get your file. Let's start the session. So again, following the same steps, Google Colab. And we would be talking about COVID analysis. I would be sharing the code also with you at the end of the session. And as and when I would be discussing the code, I would be sharing it on the chat box also. Thank you, Shabir, for giving that Google Drive link. So now people will not be putting on the chat box their attendance. Okay. I request you, sir, to please mute your mic. Vishwanath, sir.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So these are the libraries that we are going to import. NumPy is a library that we have discussed. Pandas is another, which we have already discussed. sklearn.datasets is another library which contains a lot of datasets, and most importantly, it contains the train, test, and split file. Yesterday, there were a faculty member who was saying that I was going a little fast. So I would really request all of you, if you have any doubts or questions regarding that, then let me know. Then I can do that particular portion again. Or what I'll do is I'm going for the COVID analysis, COVID data analysis. And probably we would be repeating many of the steps which we did yesterday on mobile_clean.csv file. And we would be doing similar steps for covid.csv file also. Okay, so that would be a recap also for you. And I just wanted to tell you that just an application of machine learning algorithm on different data sets would help you to analyze the data and then come up with certain predictions. Analysis is of 4 types: diagnostic analysis, predictive analysis, prescriptive analysis. So all these analysis can be done on the data by using different types of machine learning algorithms. But as I mentioned yesterday also, that is not going to suffice for the publication of a research paper. You will really have to do something more apart from just application of the machine learning algorithm. Either you can go for optimization or you can go for some parameter tuning. That is, whatever parameters you have taken, just changing the activation function also is not going to work. Probably you must have learned about the activation function during this workshop. There are many types of activation function, tanh function, ReLU function, and there are many other softmax. So just changing the activation function is also not going to work. But in fact, you will have to first of all decide upon to a domain on which you would apply this algorithm. That is the task. Any machine learning algorithm requires three things to be done. You need to identify the task, you need to have the performance, and then you need to have the experience. T, P, and E things are required. So first of all, you need to identify the task that you want to do. Then on the basis, and you evaluate that whether you are getting the correct results or not on the basis of your P calculated performance. And E is the database, the experience. So what is machine learning? Machine learning is basically making the machine learn from its past experiences. And this past experiences is E. Usha ma'am, yes, of course, you can use your own activation functions, but then you will have to modify the program. Modify actually, as what we are doing currently is just doing the test, train, and split. Then you would have to modify the function and change the parameters which are used by default. Okay, so there are many parameters which are used by default in that test, train, and split function, and you will have to change it. That is, override it basically. Okay. So probably everybody has received that COVID data set. Following the same steps, you click on this rectangular button, and then you will have to upload the file on the Google Colab. Before the start, that file needs to be uploaded. Otherwise, you will not be able to do anything. My system has got hanged. This is another CSV file. I'll show you the file also and tell you that what are the steps that need to be followed. Okay, so now we have the CSV file here. If you just see this file, it contains the data in this format. It has a latitude and longitude, the date, confirmed cases, deaths, and recoveries. Can you please just put on the chat box whether you have received the file and you are with me while doing this? Please okay, great, Naveen sir. Okay, so if you click on this file, if you just open this file, you will find the data like this. So it tells you what are the number of confirmed cases, deaths, and recoveries on the basis of the date for a particular country. And for this country, it gives the latitude and longitude also, like this. So these are the data, and if you see for the beginning, it's almost 0, and then the numbers start increasing in February, like this. As you open this, what will be the first thing that you would like to do is search for India. So what will you do? You will say Control F and India, because you want the data for India. So on 26th of February, excuse me. Ajit Singh sir, can you please mute your mic? Jasmine ma'am, the codes have not been shared as yet, because I was waiting for this session, and once the session is over, I'll share all the codes with you. Don't worry, please, for that. I'll share all the codes, whatever codes I have discussed, I'll share it with you. Okay. So, the first thing that you're going to do is find out for your country. On 27th Feb, there were 3 cases. Then on 28th Feb, there were 3 cases. 29th, 3 cases. 1st March, 3 cases, and so on. So first thing is that you will have to filter this data on the country India. Second, if you see, this latitude and longitude is going to remain the same. So suppose if there are 100 rows, for all
Madam,
those
the
100
screen
rows,
is not visible.
but is it the same for all?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it visible or not?
No, ma'am, not visible.
Okay, but it is showing me sharing. Okay, let me do it again. Now is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So if you, yeah, Jasmine ma'am had a doubt yesterday. Jasmine ma'am, now are you able to cope up with the things that we have done in the last 2 sessions?
Yes, ma'am. But we have to practice that code.
Yes, you will have to. Yes, yes. I'll share the code and then you can practice at your end as well. Okay. So this is the Excel sheet. And if you see, it's basically a CSV file with the comma separated values. And if you see, I have to do it for the country India. And then secondly, these two, latitude and longitude, is suppose there are 100 rows for India, then 100 times it would be repeated, the latitude and the longitude, because it has to remain the same. So it's basically the redundant data. Okay, so this is the redundant data which we need to omit. So what we can do is, we don't want these 2 columns. Correct? What we are doing actually is, we are trying to prepare the data for our usage. Yesterday I discussed about the 6 steps which are involved in machine learning, isn't it? So the first step was gathering the data. So I told you how to take it from Kaggle. Then secondly, it was preparation of the data. So preparation of the data involves, there are certain steps that needs to be done so that the data is fit to be used for your machine learning algorithm application. Okay, or analysis. So I want to have the data which is fit for the analysis. So it should not have redundant data, it should not have missing values, or it should not have duplicate data, and so on. So all this needs to be removed. Secondly, I don't want the data for Ghana or Greece or Guatemala, because I don't care for all this. My major concern is, I want to do the analysis of my country. If suppose I want to do the analysis of the countries, then probably I would need this data. But at present, suppose I want to do the analysis of only India. So first of all, what I'll do is, I'll filter the data on India, firstly. Secondly, I'll remove these 2 columns. I don't want these 2 columns. Thirdly, if you see at the beginning, till approximately first week of March, it's 300 or 000. For any cases, like on 24th January 00, 25th January 00, and so on. So it will continue till you get your first case on 2nd of Feb. But that too also is only 2. And for a very long time, it will remain 3. very, very long time. Then like till 17th of Feb, it is only 3 cases. And for a very long time, it will remain as 3. Till 27th of Feb, it is still 3. And now the cases started increasing on 2nd of March. 2nd of March, now it has become 28. Then sorry, it has become now 34, and gradually now the cases are increasing. So probably, first of all, I'll have to remove the data till 3rd of March or 5th of March, because I want to analyze the data when the data starts increasing. Okay, when it was actually alarming situation, I'll have to do the analysis from there. Okay, then there are many types of analysis, as I mentioned you. What I'm going to do is a predictive analysis. What should be the numbers, or what can be the numbers in December? Correct. But if you talk about the different doctors, the doctors are saying that we are going to have a hike in December. But if you see the numbers are falling currently, and falling at a very, very rapid rate. So if you talk about this type of analysis, then definitely you will say that, okay, in December's, the numbers are going to be decreasing. And finally, we are going to come to an end in the end of December or so. But actually, it is not going to happen, because there are many other parameters that needs to be considered, which are I mean, say it is not there in your database basically. So what is the excuse that they're going to give is, in the Diwali time, when the people have stopped taking all the precautions, then the numbers are going to increase. So that cannot be taken into analysis as such. So when you have the data and then you want to do the analysis, then on the basis of the current data, I can do the analysis of 15th of November. Okay, said what can possibly be the number of cases on 15th of November or so. Okay, so these are the things that I need to do. And the last but not the least, I have to first change this, because date, if you see, it is in a string format. So I have to encode this. What is the meaning of encoding? The meaning of encoding says, suppose it is 21st of January 2020, I will name it as 1. For 22nd of January 2020, I will name it as 2, and so on. So this is known as encoding, like this, something like this. This is nothing but encoding. So I have converted the strings into numbers. This is required because analysis can be done only on numbers, only on integers, floats, and not on strings and characters. So what are the 4 or 5 things that we need to do? First of all, I'll have to filter the data on India. Then I'll have to modify. I will have to take care of only those columns which we actually need. And then we'll also have to reduce the rows till 5th of March or something like that. So see, first of all, I will import all the libraries. Keras and TensorFlow is not being used in this particular example, but I included them just to give, so that I remember I have to explain this. TensorFlow is another library which is used for deep neural networks. And Keras is a platform which is built onto the TensorFlow. So it has many header files which you can actually use, many functions which you can use for your CNN, convolution neural networks. So deep learning and convolutional neural networks will possibly use these 2 types of libraries, TensorFlow and Keras. Okay. And NumPy, Pandas, sklearn, and from the sklearn, you are also importing the linear regression, that we are going to do the linear regression for this. First and the foremost, you will read the file. First and the foremost, you will import all the data sets that I have already copy pasted onto your chat box. Okay. And then you are going to read the file. And this is the command for reading the file. That is read df pd.read_csv covid.csv, and then loc is location, and you are trying to find out the details of a particular row. So I am getting the details of the 4th row. Please let me know if you are through till here. You are able to upload the file, you are able to upload the covid.csv file, and you are able to import all these libraries and read the file. So you should be getting something like this. Let me know if you are done. Yes, yes, 2 people. 3, 4. If you are facing any problems, then let me know, please. Okay. Now you can use the command which is known as describe, which will describe the complete file for you. df is nothing but a variable, which is standing for data frame. It's a variable. You can use any variable you want. Pandas is converting it into a data frame which you can use for your processing and analysis.
Madam, good afternoon, madam.
Yes.
Madam, kindly, your screen is not visible, madam.
Done? Visible now? It is visible, sir. Similarly, you can print the head and the tail. The screen is not visible.
That code window is not. The code window is not visible, madam. Your screen is visible, but
Okay.
whatever you explain that code, that is not visible.
But how is it happening? It is showing me stop sharing. It is showing me that it is getting shared.
No.
Can you see it right now?
Ma'am, please share the
No,
The
madam.
collab
Your
window is
screen.
visible.
I think, madam, I think you have to share your
Please share.
entire screen. Entire screen you can share actually.
Sir, I am doing the same thing. I am sharing the entire screen. I don't know what is the problem. Is it visible now?
Now it is coming, yeah.
Okay. But anyways, if it goes off, then let me know. Because this particular button is always there for me. It is sharing your screen. It shows that the screen is getting shared. But somehow it is getting stopped in between. I don't know why. So if you say df.head, it will print the first
Yes,
file.
madam. Now visible, madam.
That's it? Yes. Then we wanted to see only some of the rows. I'll come to that later. Now I want to filter the data on the country India. So for this, I will do this. So what does it mean? I want to filter on country/region. So country/region is nothing but the name of your column. If you see here, the name of your column is country/region. Yeah. This is the name of the column. So this column, you are filtering the data on this column. And what you are saying that it should be equal to India. So you will get only those rows for which country region is equal to India. At any point of time, if the screen is not visible, please let me know, because this dialog box is always there for me, which I feel that the screen is getting shared. But somehow because of network connectivity issues, I suppose it is getting stopped. So just let me know if it stops. Got it? Are you people able to do this? And then you try to describe this or print this. Describe this, it will tell you how many rows are there, what are the values, and so on, like this. Then you can print the tail, the last 5 rows of this. Could you do this till here? Were you able to get a data frame only for India and filtered the data on only for India? Yes. Okay, great. Then you can also do one thing. If suppose you don't want to concentrate on India and you want to do it for all the countries, so you can use group by function, which I discussed yesterday also, in which you are grouping by on the basis of the country. So it will get all the data of one country, then all the data of another country, then all the data of the third country, and so on. And then you can use this loop to print the data. Use this loop to print all the data. So if you see, I'll get the data of Afghanistan, then I'll get all the data of Algeria. So it has 91 rows and 8 columns. Then for Andorra, so all the countries will have 91 rows and 8 columns because it is on the basis of dates. So there are 91 dates. Since there are 91 dates, so there would be 91 rows for a particular country. Like this: Austria, Bahrain, Bangladesh. So for all the countries, you will say you would be able to get the data. And now you can go ahead and do the analysis for country specific data also. Have you done till here? Ma'am, Meenakshi ma'am, probably you have not imported the pandas. You have to write import pandas as PD. That is why it is giving you an error. Okay. And then this was the part which I was telling you, which is taking only those columns. So what we have done, we have filtered on the basis of country, then I have filtered on the basis of columns. Sorry, this is the one, because that was on the complete data set. This would be on India data set. The previous one was on the complete data set, and the second one is for the India data set. And this is the one which I was telling to filter on the number of rows. I don't want the first 1 to 36 rows, because in those rows it was mostly zeros. All the values were zeros. Recovered, deaths, and confirmed cases, they were mostly zeros. So there is no point in doing the analysis of those data because it is generally zero. So if it is not increasing or decreasing, then what do you do to do for the analysis? No point. So what you will do is you will first filter the data on the country, then and you then choose some of the columns which you need, and then you choose some of the rows which you need. Meenakshi ma'am, I think you have joined late. We have already talked about including the file. I think you have joined late. You click on this rectangular blocks and then you click on this, and from this you would be able to upload the file. Okay. Yes, Jasmine
Code
ma'am.
is not visible.
Is it visible now? Is the code visible, Jasmine ma'am?
No, no, no.
Currently it is not visible. What are you seeing?
That is your
I'm
but
not
not the
able
code. Not
Collab is
collab.
visible, huh? You can see the collab, na, right now.
Now it is visible.
Okay.
Now it is visible. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Correct. So we have done the three major things that we needed. Now, what we are doing is we are taking the values and we have to make this as X. Since I have to actually do the predictions now, so I'll have to make something as X and something as Y. So what is X? This analysis is my X. And from this, I'm going to do my Y as recovered deaths and confirmed cases. So I am going to predict the values of recovered deaths and confirmed cases on the basis of this complete data of X. But if you see here, I have still not converted this into numeric data. So for this, now this has been converted to Y. The last three values. We talked about slicing. We talked about slicing yesterday and day before yesterday. So this is slicing. We are taking all the rows and only 5 to 8 columns. And what are 5 to 8 columns? Basically, it is the 5, 6, and 7. And 5, 6, and 7 columns are confirmed cases, deaths, and recoveries. If you see this, so these are the columns that we need. So this has been made as Y, and rest of the columns have to be made as X. But actually, it would be only the date. It will be only on the basis of the date. So X and Y are done. This is the part which is used for encoding. Encoding that you are getting your the date converted into numbers. You have to convert your date into numbers. See this carefully. Which column do you want to modify? That you will have to check all the rows and the third column. In this way, you would be able to modify this. So once you are done, you will get the result something like this. So now this will become as X. Again, this is a redundant data, the second and the third columns. So that can also be removed. Then basically what you will be doing is, you will be doing your calculations on the basis of the date. You will find out what will be the number of confirmed cases, deaths, and recoveries. But actually what happens is, generally what happens is, you have X and Y, in which X has a number of parameters and Y has only one parameter. On the basis of suppose 10, 12 parameters, you generally predict only one parameter. But in this case, we are doing the other way around. We have only one parameter, and on the basis of that, we are going to have 3 parameters predicted, which never gives you good results. Never. So only on the basis of date, you won't be able to come up with good results. You will have to add on more parameters to it. That can be on the basis of the state. You can do it on the basis of state, or you can do it on the basis of the openings of malls, because that will also going to affect the number of confirmed cases, deaths, and recoveries, and so on. So if you see this, I have done the encoding part, and then this is what we discussed yesterday also. That is, I am predicting it on a linear regression. So if you do a linear regression, it is practically not possible. Practically, the data is not like this, that it is linearly, it is not going to increase. With the date, the confirmed cases are not going to increase linearly. This is something which is going to come, which is definitely not correct. It can never be linear regression. That is why I wanted to specifically show you that just the application of a machine learning algorithm onto a data is not going to suffice. It's definitely not going to suffice. You will definitely would like to add more to it to come up with something which is more meaningful. Linear regression can never be applied onto COVID data analysis, because it is not linearly increasing. The number of deaths or recoveries is not linearly increasing. Definitely not. It is based on various factors. So just an application of machine learning algorithm like linear regression onto a COVID data set is definitely not a solution. And you must have learned about supervised algorithms and unsupervised algorithms. So as the rule says, supervised algorithm should be applied onto the data set which is labeled, and unsupervised should be applied on data set which is not labeled. But you can definitely code, isn't it? You can have a SVM, which is which is generally a supervised technique, but it is known as semi-supervised because it works on both. So if I want to have linear regression applied onto a non-labeled data, definitely you are going to get the result. But it is not correct. The result is not correct. You cannot apply linear regression on an unlabeled data because that is unsupervised technique. So you have to apply clustering, different types of clusterings or dimensionality reduction or whatever. ठीक है? तो result दिखाने के लिए आप दिखा दोगे, but that is not going to make any sense. Got the point? So I have applied linear regression. I have plotted the model also, but this is not correct. Linear regression is not going to serve your purpose. Definitely the number of confirmed cases are not going to increase linearly. See, I have applied decision trees also. Here it is a decision tree. I have applied the decision tree. So that may make sense. That may make some sense. So these are the predictions. And how you are going to predict, as I mentioned yesterday, this is a linear regression model. Linear regression model on the prediction versus new. If you see so much of RAM is being used, you are already using 10 GB of the RAM out of 12. Again, it reduced to down. So many people were using it, so the RAM was very high when I was actually implementing this. Correct? I'm not getting any answers. Are you actually doing it? Are you able to understand what I'm trying to say? Linear regression is not to be applied.
Madam, your
on
screen
such
is again invisible.
Sir, I'm not sharing anything. I'm on WebEx right now.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
I just wanted to make a point on at this.
Okay, ma'am. Understood, madam.
Okay. I just wanted to tell you that just applying linear regression onto a data is not going to suffice. This is what you're going to get, which is absolutely not correct. Okay. And what I have done actually is I have taken X new like this. What is X new? These are the latitudes and longitudes, and these are the dates. And I'm trying to predict on those dates and then checking whether it is correct or not. So these were the predictions. So it said on 5th of November, the date, it is going to be 796, then 807, then 819 cases, then 830 cases, then 841, 852 deaths. These are all deaths. So of course it is a linearly, it is increasing linearly, which is definitely not correct. Okay. Then I may apply a decision tree regressor that may solve a purpose to some extent, but you need to apply some more logistics, more parameters to actually come to the good results. Ajit Singh sir, probably you must have not executed X_train. I have not copy pasted the part. Here it is. That is why it is giving you an error. This I had already discussed yesterday, so that is why I didn't copy paste it. I'll be sharing the code with you so that you can execute all the statements. I won't be sharing this code exactly because this is a part of the research that I am currently doing. So sorry, I won't be able to share this particular code, but I have already explained you the most of the things. I would be sharing the yesterday's code that was on mobile_clean. So almost the commands are the same. It only thing is the data is only changed. What is the thing that you have to change? The data is changed. mobile_clean.csv. That's it. Not much of the changes. The only changes because since you know the data set, so you have done that types of modifications. You have filtered it on the country. You have removed some of the columns. You have removed some of the rows. This is data specific. Which data you're going to apply, so that would be specific. So if you don't have any doubts further, then I can switch to NLP now. If you have any doubts or questions regarding this. So we have done 2 data sets and we have done the analysis on 2 different data sets using pandas, sklearn and numpy. pd.read was a pandas function, and this xtrain, xtrain and xpredict, this entire part, xtrain and split part, this function, train, test and split function is sklearn function. This is a sklearn function. So I hope all this is clear, and then we can move on to NLP. Please let me know. Yes. Okay. Do you have a fair idea what NLP is all about? Do you have a fair idea what is NLP and why do we need NLP? Natural language processing. Kindly let me know. Shabir, have they gone through any session on NLP? Okay, so in the morning you have already gone through a session. Good. So you know what is NLP, what are the different challenges in NLP, and what are the different research open research areas in NLP. So people are working on different aspects of NLP on different phases: syntactic analysis, semantic analysis, lexical analysis, morphological analysis. Those are the different phases of natural language processing. And people are working on different sets. And yes, as I mentioned yesterday, still a lot needs to be done. A lot needs to be done, and especially in the Indian languages, in the regional Indian languages. If you really search on IEEE Explore, you will get maximum 10 to 15 papers on Bangla or Uriya or Telugu or Tamil or Malayalam. You will get very few papers. So people are trying to work on that, but still the problem is with the data set. They don't get the data set. Because if you are going for a translation, suppose, so that the person should be able to understand both the languages very well. So if suppose I'm going for a translation of Malayalam to Hindi, I should be definitely knowing Malayalam, isn't it? I can go from Malayalam to English easily because English is a well-spoken language throughout the country. So you can go ahead and do the translations in those areas, Malayalam to English, or this Uriya to English, or Kannada to English, and so on. And if you do Kannada to Hindi, then it is a tough thing, and probably you are not going to get enough of data, and also you won't get a single paper on that. So these are some open research problems, and all those people, all the participants who have not done PhD and want to do some research on this NLP field, go ahead. Because the field has not been explored much. Still a lot of work needs to be done. But yes, for English, I would say it is exhausted. For English, not much needs to be done now. But for other things, definitely you can go ahead and do it. Yes, that's what I told you, Jasmine ma'am. English to any of the languages and any of the languages to English is fairly easy. But if you say, if I want to translate Malayalam to Hindi, then definitely you can really publish good research papers. These are open research problems. So let's start. What I'll do is I'll open a new file and I will also do along with you, because what happens is that some of the files needs to be installed there and then. So first of all, you do this. NLTK is the Natural Language Toolkit, which is used for natural language processing, NLTK. And PUNKT is another library which needs to be downloaded from NLTK. If you are done till here, please let me know. Now what we have done is, first of all, take some data. Data is equal to you take some data. Like this. And you know what are tokens? Tokens are nothing but words which are separated by spaces. So English has that advantage of tokenizing it, because space is a very good delimiter. Space and full stop is a very good delimiter. In an ATAL workshop, I'm doing it at home. So let's do this, because I need to have this also as the delimiter. If you do this, and let's print tokens. So what it has done, basically, it has converted into two sentences. There were two sentences which were used, and it has converted into two sentences. See this comma here? So this is one sentence and this is one sentence. And how it has done? Simply by using full stop as the delimiter. So first of all, we have imported the natural language toolkit. We have downloaded PUNKT, and then we have taken a data and tokenized the sentence. So it has given me two sentences. The next thing that we'll do is tokenize the words. Tokenize the words. Now this is going to tokenize the words. And then I can say print W token. And this gives you all the words which are present. And if you see this, this dot is also taken as a word. The full stop is also taken as a word. NLTK is a very, very powerful library. It contains all the functions which you are going to use for natural language processing. And it makes the tasks very easy. It makes the things very easy. So you just have to use the functions and your work is done. Let me know if you have done that. Just let me know if you have done that. Done. Good. Okay. Next we are going to do is we have to install. Now must have already learned what are stop words. What are stop words? So stop words is another library which is used in NLP. See, as I told you, in natural language processing is very much dependent upon the data. Because if you say I have, if I'm working on English, then the stop words are off on the such types of words are stop words. But if I ask you what are the stop words for Malayalam, I won't be able to tell you because I don't know Malayalam at all. Okay, so you will have to prepare the data for it. If you are working on a Malayalam NLP, then you will have to prepare those data sets. Then only you can say that, okay, I have processed the data and I have removed the stop words. For English, stop words is another library which contains a list of all the stop words. And you need to install that with the help of this command. Because if you don't do it, and this you have to do it every time. That is why I'm doing it in a different window, so that I also know what needs to be installed and what not. Whenever you are doing it, you have to do it. So once the stop words library is installed, then you can download it. Downloading all the packages and then remove the stop words. Let me copy this and then I will explain you. Is it done? Are you able to install the stop words library? So what it is doing it, first of all, you need to install and then download. You first install this library and then download all the stop words from there. Then what you're going to do is you are taking, we already have the data, so we will not do this part. We already have the data and we have the W tokens with us. So we can skip this. And then we are taking English stop words. So what we are doing is we are making English stop words is nothing but a set. We are making it as a set. We have already gone through dictionaries, tuples, sets, and lists. So this is a set. And what does the set contains? It contains stop words which are there in English. All the stop words which are there in English is present as a set where in a variable which is known as en underscore stops. And this is a set. And what we are doing is we are printing all the words which are present in W tokens. Here is a W token. So we are taking all the words which are present in W token and comparing it if whether they are stop word or not. If it is not a stop word, we are printing it. So let's see if it is going to work. It is working. I am is removed. Am was a stop word. Studying natural language processing. In all the stop words are removed, but dot is not a stop word, mind you. So if you see the sentence, what was the sentence? I am studying natural language processing. In an was a stop word. Am was a stop word. This am was also a stop word. It, at, all this was a stop word. So all these words have been removed. So in the case of lexical analysis, when you are doing on the first stage, you need to remove the stop words. In this way, the stop words would be removed. I'm again copy pasting the code. So please use this code for removal of the stop words. Done till here? Then I can also print the stop words in some range. So this particular library stop words contains a lot of stop words. So I can print a range of these stop words from 610 to 630, suppose if I want to print, or I want to print from 300 to 330. So these 30 stop words would be printed. These are the stop words which are printed. But the stop words are starting from 600 for English. You, will, yourselves, him, himself, her, herself, they, theirs, who, whom. These are all stop words which are there. Jasmine, ma'am, copy paste your error here. I'll see to it. Then there is a very important thing that we do is printing of the synonyms. I'm again copy pasting that code here. Yeah, what is the error that you're getting? Ma'am, you have not downloaded NLTK resource. The one that I'm telling you again and again, you need to install the stop words and then use it. You have not downloaded the packages. Please go one by one as I am telling you. You first need to import this. Again, I am copy pasting it. Import this. Then you install the stop words. And then you download the stop words. All these things are required. Otherwise, it will not work. And then you can remove the stop words like this. This is the exact flow that you have to take. Is it done? Okay. The next thing is the synonyms. You can find out the synonyms. For this, you need another library, which is very much important, is known as WordNet. Because WordNet contains all the meanings of the words. And when you say the meanings, it will give you the lemmas of the words. Oh, now, what is the meaning of lemma? Lemma says cat, cats belong to the same lemma cat. Okay? Start, starts, starting, started, all belong to the same lemma start. So WordNet contains this. You need to have this as in the WordNet. That is, it should tell you all the synonyms which are present, all the antonyms which are present. Otherwise, you won't be able to actually work upon it. So it will download WordNet and it will take some time. So if you see, I'm trying to find out the synonyms for start. So what are the synonyms for start? Beginning, commencement, first, outset, get go, start, signal start, begin, set out, and so on. So many synonyms. So what it says is, depending upon the lemmas, it will say start corresponds to beginning, start corresponds to commencement, start corresponds to starting, and so on. Okay, got it? Are you able to do the synonyms? I'll explain you the code. It says nltk.download wordnet. I am downloading again in the same way as we did stop words. As we did stop words, we did wordnet. Okay. And then what I'm doing is I'm creating an empty list and I'm appending this list. Yesterday, I gave you an example also for the lists. No? So I'm creating an empty list and then I'm trying to find out for syn in wordnets or syn sets for the meaning of the word start. I'm looking for the word start. And if for LM in syn lemmas synonyms dot append, I am appending that. What is this dot name? So name is the function which gives you all the words related to that particular lemma. Name is nothing but a function which is related to all, name is a function which gives you all the words related to that particular lemma. What is that lemma and which words lemma I'm going to talk about? The start word. I can use anything else from this. I can use mobile. So let's see what are the different word synonyms for mobile. Mobile, nomadic, roving, wandering. And why there are 3 words here? Because they were used in different senses. It is going for the semantic analysis. Semantic analysis, at one point of time, mobile was used with reference to this. At some point of time, mobile was used with the reference of moving. And so there are different references in which it has been used. So that is why you have 3 occurrences of the same word. And capital mobile is different from a small mobile, of course, because these are all case sensitive. Okay? Are you able to get the synonyms? Okay. I think now the screen is visible also, Naveen sir. The screen is static means I am not moving up and down because I am talking about that particular portion only. Got it? Anyone who is able to do it for another word can can put your output here. Do it for any word, whichever you feel, and put the output here so that I also come to know you are doing along with me. Are you people there? Okay. So we did it for laptop. Did it for analysis. Okay, very good. Very good. So I am now happy that you people are doing it. Okay, you did it for country. Very good. Very good. Are you enjoying this? Because NLP is really very, very interesting and very enjoying also. जब आपको वो दिखता है होता हुआ, then you feel good. Yes, it is very, very exciting. Synonyms. Then similarly, I can go for antonyms also. Antonyms are also somewhat like that only. Not much of a difference. Check it out. Again, we'll do wordnet from the wordnet itself because as I told you, wordnet contains all the meanings of all the words because it is required. They are used in different senses. Synonyms, antonyms, homophones create a lot of problems. So just to avoid all these things, one word and it's all the related meanings are present. All the words which are related to that particular word having the same lemma is present. So for go, it should be stop. Stop should be present as the antonym. So stop. Can anybody tell me why come is there? or malfunction is there. No go is also there. No go is not a word, is not a correct word, but still it is there, because it must have been used in any of the this text. WordNet has been taken from some lakhs and lakhs of texts. When you are writing a letters, or there is one data set which is on the basis of video recordings. Whatever I'm speaking is converted into text, and then that was used as the data set. So WordNet contains a lot of data sets, and one of them must be used as come, the opposite of come. When I say come, go. Malfunction was, suppose there must be some software which I am talking about, and I would have said that, okay, you shouldn't go anywhere. Malab, you should not go ahead with the execution. So what is the opposite of that? Not going ahead with the execution is it has a malfunction. So is a malfunction, don't go ahead with the execution. Don't continue with the execution. There is a malfunction in it. Durai Murugan sir, I think the attendance form was shared. Probably, I think I can resend it to you. Yes, I got that URL. That's a URL which Shabir Basha sir shared. I have shared it again with you for your reference. Got it? Everybody has got the synonyms and the antonyms? Great. And last but not the least, we'll use the translation. I'm giving you a couple of minutes so that everybody is able to do it. Okay. So what you have to do first is pip install translate. You have to first install the translate library. I have just installed, so it is already saying it has satisfied. For you, it may take some time because it is a very, very huge library, and it will take some time for you to install that. Please install that. Anand Sharma sir, you don't have to give your attendance in the chat box. You have to fill this Google form for it. If you are done with this, then you try to do this. It is really very interesting. You will really love to do it. And once you execute this, it will ask you what input that needs to be converted to Hindi. What it is doing, it is converting from English to Hindi. See, by default, the language is from underscore lang is English. So, and I'm just giving you two lang. So I am overriding the function of translator. I am using a constructor here. If you see, translator is the name of the class, and I'm using a constructor in which I am giving the overriding of the parameters. Overriding of the parameters in which I am just giving the two lang, and I'm saying I want to translate I am doing work. So it is translated into मैं काम कर रहा हूँ. Probably it should give. It should give in Hindi also, like this. इसने भी हिंदी में दिया था. I don't know why it is giving it in English right now. Yeah. I am doing worship. मैं पूजा कर रहा हूँ. मैं काम कर रहा हूँ must have been already there in the database. So that is why it is giving like that. Or I can say, I am studying. मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ. Even if I have not written by mistake I have not written by, then also it is giving you the correct answer. मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ. Did you try? Did you people try? Now give me the output of different sentences that you may have given. Give me the output of the sentences. Some of the sentences that you may have given. I am waiting in the chat box. मैं कहीं नहीं जाना चाहता. I don't want to go anywhere. See, this is so exact, so correct. But many a times it fails also. So it's not that it is absolutely correct. Because making it absolutely correct is really very, very tough. Very tough. And natural language processing always deals with naive-based classification. Or you can say conditional probability. It works on a lot on probability, conditional probability, naive-based, only because of this reason, because natural language processing can never give you 100% accuracy. 100% is never there. And that is why we talk about probabilities. Most probable, what is the answer? So even if you are doing for a machine learning or for natural language processing, if somebody gives you 100% accuracy in a software, it's absolutely wrong. You cannot get 100% accuracy in any of the machine learning softwares or natural language softwares. Alexa fails in most of the cases. Alexa fails at a lot of many times. I have Alexa also, I have Siri also at my home, and both of them fails in most of the cases. Because if they don't find anything in their database, then they give you absurd answers. मैं तीसरी कक्षा में अध्ययन कर रहा हूँ. I am attending FDP. Good. Very good. So this means, but I can see the answers only from 3 participants. Mostly the answers are from just 3-4 participants. The rest of the participants are static. Anyways, it is good that you people are doing it. And at least you got to have something. Jyoti ma'am, I am not getting you. What you are trying to say? And like this, you have many functions of NLTK, many functions, and you can all try it out at your own end at different times. Ma'am, which link you are talking about, Jyoti ma'am? Are you talking about the attendance link? Are you talking about the attendance link? Okay, I'm not getting the answer. Anyways, any other questions? That's it. I wanted to have for NLP. You can do the translations in 2 different languages also. This I wanted to discuss, yes. Because in the previous days, what I told was the from language was by default English. But if you want, you can convert it from one language to another also. Suppose if I want from German to Spanish. Suppose if this is the way. Then it has given you the translation of this word. So you can have any set of languages, but I think there are 1 or 2 Hindi Indian regional languages, but rest of them are not there. So just try it out. You can Google it and find out which of the languages are present in the translate, and then find out on which you can do the translations. But mostly there are world languages, and English is very used a lot. You can do it like this also. To language German from English. And then here itself you can give the sentence. I am not going. So what it will be termed in German? Like this. Ich werde nicht teilnehmen in German. In French. This is the meaning of I'm not going. Isn't it interesting? Interesting? I really love this part. Because it has made your task so easy. And you should also, actually, teachers should know what is happening, because sometimes the students come up with such types of projects. So you should know that, okay, this is only a 2-line code. If some student comes to you and say that, okay, I have made a translator, so then you should say it is only a 2-line code. You have done nothing. So that is why the teachers should be up to date. The teachers should know that what are the technologies, what is happening currently, and for what you need, your libraries are present, and so on. All these things needs to be known, because if you don't know all these things, then it happens a lot of time that the students come up with something which was very naive, which was very easy, and we feel that, okay, it was very tough, but it was actually only a 2-line code. Okay, so if some student comes to you for a translator, then tell him that, okay, it is a 2-line code. You have done nothing in this. Correct? Okay, so that's it from my side. We have talked about a lot on Python. We started with the basics of Python. Then we did a lot on list, tuples, dictionaries, and sets. Then we moved on to the NumPy, Pandas, and sklearn. And today we did some more analysis of machine learning algorithms. And then finally we switched on to NLP. I have already shared my email ID with you. I'm again sending it to you if you have any doubts or questions. I'm also open to any types of collaborations if you want. If you want to do some, discuss your research problem, or you want to have some insights onto your research problem, definitely you can put a mail to me. I would be sharing the codes with Shabir today, just by the end of the day today, and that would be shared with you all. So don't worry for that. Thank you so much. Vishwanath sir is there? I think he must be there in a meeting also. Shabir? Shabir Basha sir, people are asking
Madam.
for the attendance.
Ma'am, I am here.
Okay, Yes, yes, sir.
So, madam, if there are any questions from the audience, that is, ask the audience for any questions.
Yes. Thank you so much, all the participants. Tanu Karti ma'am, Ambika ma'am, Anand sir, Meenakshi ma'am, Kumkum ma'am, Abhimanyu sir. I hope it was useful and you were able to grasp at least 80% of it, if not 100%. Thank you so much.
So, let us thank Dr. Pooja for her excellent experienced way of delivering these lab sessions. I hope that all of you got learned something out of these 3-day lab sessions. So let me thank her wholeheartedly. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Pleasure is entirely mine. Thank you. So if there are no questions, then I may leave. Shabir sir, they're asking for the attendance. So can you please share the attendance link?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Venkat sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.